Morena blazers. So recently I've been really struggling to go out and street skate for the last year or so. And I've kind of forgotten how important it was and how beneficial it is to your skating, and how much all these things stopping me didn't really matter and how I should overcome them. But before we talk more about that, let's get a Royale 270 Nugan to Seoul on the rail like I'm 16 again. Let's do it. Switch on was for you, Isaac. Check the sweatshirt. It's a collab that laced I did with Anti-Rocker Society, which I think is pretty funny since I skate flat. But yeah, it's pretty dope. It's a nice comfy hoodie with a spear lace in it, a lace. So if you have a break one, you have one on, you've got this hoodie. And so obviously you can chuck another one in if you use it. Super dope. And also beat the tariff, so you can actually get this in the States. Link in the description, consider supporting us. But yeah, let's get that trick. I already spent way too much time on it and I'm so not happy with it. But hey, I might have hit a 10 times higher obstacle that time and hit the whole rail, but this time the older me rewinded out. So anyway, this is the problem with starting with park, is you get stuck here. But I have one more thing I want to do before we hit a street spot and talk about why things that get in the way of street skating, why it's important we should. And that's skating the high ledge, because I think yesterday I skated it and it made me feel like I could street skate. It reminds me I can jump high, so let's go do it. Not really, but a little bit here and there.
Is it busy?
It's pretty quiet these days. It's probably like 5 to 10 people.
Really?
Yeah, I think people go to the better parks in LA, the ones like out of town and stuff.
We're going to have a barbecue here and do a bit of an outreach.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Sue? Would you like to be home for Jesus today?
I'll be right. Sorry.
He loves you. Alright, thanks so much.
Oh, okay, cheers. Jesus, if you fuck me, I'll make it this try, okay? Let's get out and do some street. So that went pretty good. I'm pretty hyped about that session. But it definitely, there was a solid few minutes there where I was going to abandon this video. But anyway, let's talk about the things that stop me street skating. And the big one is that exactly. Just the anxiety of it all, unpredictability, the feeling out of place. You know, at the skate park, it's safe, it's predictable. Like, I'm allowed to be there, I ain't gonna get kicked out. I feel too old now to be out trespassing and doing stuff like that. And, you know, getting kicked out by people younger than me, vandalizing property. It just feels so wrong. But there's ways to avoid that, we'll talk about later. But that's the number one thing, man. It's like the anxiety of skating somewhere you're not supposed to, not knowing if I even be able to skate it. And on top of that, having to film a video, like, filming the video like triples the anxiety. One of the ways you can overcome that is to go skate with someone, but right now I got no one to street skate with, so it's on the solo, no internet in sight, which sucks. And I can't emphasize how much of a gamble every street session feels like. You know, like, why not go to a skate park where I'm guaranteed to get a skating for my time? If I try to go street, I might not get to skate at all. You know, I might get kicked out, I might not be able to skate the spot. And honestly, the spots where you're guaranteed to be allowed to skate, and usually they feel like skate parks. So it doesn't feel like street skating. But anyway, the worst part about all that too is maybe I could not bring the camera to down the anxiety of street skating, but then it feels not worth doing it. If I don't get it on camera, what's the point of street skating? Which is not a good way to think. But, you know, skate park doesn't feel like that. The other one is that I think I have the most backwards is that I feel like I need to be on top of my game to street skate. And it's so not true. I actually think it's quite different to that, and it's an important skill to practice, and it can help while you're skating around. You don't have to be the best on your top game to do it. I'll talk about that more later. Let's go hit another spot. Whispering because it's not exactly the anxiety's high as a lot of people around me get. I definitely overestimated my fitness because I'm smashed right now. There's another spot I want to hit, and I'm really gutted than both of those tricks here. They were pretty shit. But hey, I got my switch 3-sole, and 3-sole. I'll get my switch spin 3-sole back one day, but that ain't today. I'm way too tired. Well, anyway, let's talk about you guys' reasons why that stop you street skating. I asked you guys in a community poll, and you had some similar reactions to me. I think the most standout one was that you all feel too old and that it's too embarrassing to get kicked out of a spot when you're this old. You don't have the same kind of, you can kind of get away with more when you're like young, you know, but when you're like in your 30s or your 40s and you're trespassing and stuff, it's a little more, it looks a little worse, you know, the consequences might be a bit worse, and I get that, you know. Also, you had the same thing as me saying, a lot of people saying the skill, they weren't good enough to skate street, but again, that's how I felt too, but I think it doesn't matter as much as you think. We'll come back to that. The weather was a big one for you guys. It's supposed to be winter right now. This is a beautiful day for me, so I'm very lucky. But I've been skating every day, so I'm pretty smashed at the same time. You have no one to skate with like me, and again, it comes down to time management too, where if you only got a certain amount of time to skate a week, you don't want to risk it on the street. You go to the skate park and you're guaranteed a good session, a good bit of exercise, which are all really valid points. I think you shouldn't let them stop you because I think there's a lot of important stuff that comes from street skating. And it's one of the main reasons I want to make this video. And we'll talk about that after the next spot, which might be a bus. So if it's a bus, then I'll just be talking about it at home. We'll try it though. Let's get out there. Oh man. Gonna have to come back. I'll do this bit. There's also a meeting going on in this building, so we got one shot. man, I'm good about that last spot. What a dumb end, dude. I have to go back there with the blade and maybe I have to muscle that fucking planter box out of the way so I can actually skate it. Got to get the boys to come. Someone's mad about them skating, but that was a real test too, because I was looking in the window. There's like a full-on like business meeting going on, dude. So full anxiety, waiting to get kicked out. I got a shitty front nuking though for you. Anyway. All right, so let's go over how these things shouldn't stop you from street skating and why you should street skate. Now, the first one is that you guys feel like you're too old to be getting kicked out of places and be like pissing people off and trespassing and stuff like that, which is super valid. But there's a way you can avoid this, and that is by picking the right kind of spots, at least to start off with. Pick spots where you're way less likely to get kicked out from, and that is public spaces, places you're like definitely allowed to be, you know, think like public parks, the sidewalks, that kind of place like that, you know. That lowers the pressure a lot of what you have to deal with trying to overcome this fear of street skating. And that also goes for picking the kind of hardness of the spot. Pick the easy spot you can. Why not? Even if it's a little one step for a soul, especially to begin with. Just go out and do a soul on a step. You'll be reminded how much you can unlock different things with skating you and how fun street skating can be if you do that. Don't set the bar too high. You don't have to go super hard. And if you are going to get kicked out, just don't be a dick about it. Get out of there, you know. You've done it before. You've been kicked out before. That's not the end of the world. Even if you're old as fuck, you know, just don't be a dick and get out of there. You'll be fine. I guarantee you it's not going to be as bad as you think it is in your head. Don't let this getting too old to have fun shit ruin your life, you know. And the next thing stopping you guys is that you're on your own like me. This is probably one of the harder ones to overcome because having to go out and get the self-motivation to put yourself in the street skating situation, that is a huge barrier. But I say the biggest one to help you there would be to bring a camera, even your phone, to film some clips. So there's kind of a goal and something to keep you accountable for this thing and like a mission to go out for. And it can keep you company, can help you push yourself a bit more than you would with no pressure and no friends helping you along. But that's kind of it. The other thing would be to try to get a homie to come skate with you, because ideally that's the best way to get out street skating, is to have someone to fucking street skate with. The main reason I want to make this video is because I realized the mindset that I've got into for street skating was completely wrong, and that was I felt like I wasn't good enough to street skate. Like I'm not in the tippity top of my game, so I can't go and hit all these spots. And that is just so not true. And I realized this so long ago when I got into skating. I don't know how I forgot about it, but you don't have to be super good to go street skating. You could have just learned your first grind. You can still go street skating, and I would encourage you to do so. I think you should, because there's like so many benefits to it. I think back to when I was 16, I banned myself from a skate park for like a whole half a year to film a street part. And it was quite hard. It was definitely a huge change. I was going to like high spots, I don't know how, and like skating with no warm-up, young shit, you know. I vividly remember, I'll never forget this, but the day that I got to the end of filming for that and I went back to the skate park was like a joke. Everything was so much easier to do. I couldn't believe it. All these tricks that I was so scared of for years of that park were just so much easier the second I stepped back in that park. It was like, and the way I skated the park and the way I saw lines and stuff completely changed. There's a whole lot of new ways to skate it. It was just it had such a beneficial part. It made me a much better skater doing that kind of challenge. Although I wouldn't encourage you to completely ban yourself from the skate park. You just need to get on street skates sometimes. Because it's this history of creativity. It's a whole different art form of skating. It's a whole lot of different vibes, a whole lot of different pressures than the skate park. And it was really beneficial to your skating. You'll improve a lot. Street skating improves your confidence a lot in your skating. I think it's one of the quickest way to grow confidence. It can probably be the quickest way to sink it too if things don't go well. But if you skate in the street and like do a bunch of cool shit, you can get some cool clips, it's gonna make you more confident in your skating, which translates to skating better in the park. And it's important to go out confident too when you go on these sessions, because if you are all in your head and already feeling like, fuck, I don't even know if I can hit this, I'm not good, you're gonna have a bad time. If you're out there like, I can fucking do this, I'm gonna get this shit, then all these kind of obstacles, like people you might deal with, or you know, stuff like that, the obstacles themselves and the whole day will go much better if you're in that kind of right mindset, which is obviously hard to get into, but tips for that: watch some edits, your favorite street edits, get hyped up, prove to yourself you can do it. You can do it. You should see from this video alone that the barrier of like kind of you caring too much what people think is not real. Because in this video I did today, I was generally invisible to pretty much everyone. I mean, I picked some pretty real safe spots, but if you look at the clips, no one even notices I'm there. And that's great, you know. I'm so worried about, you know, like pissing people off, ruining their day, getting in their way, you know, or having someone come up and say some dumb shit and ruin my day. It never happened. I generally blended into the background, and yeah, it was just clearly shows that there was no reason for me to not go street skate. Like, no one cared. And from my experience in the last 10 years, I know there's definitely been times where people have said dumb shit to me when I'm out street skating, or I've been kicked out and I felt bad about kind of ruining people's day. Generally though, most of the time, if people come talk to me, they're hyped about it. They're so hyped on skating. They're like, damn, that was cool. It's generally really positive interaction. And the thought of like kind of being so worried about these negative interactions that you don't go at all, which stops you having these positive ones, seems kind of dumb to me, you know? And it's something that I shouldn't let stop me. And that's why I think the most important thing is that you just go and do it. Don't put it off. Don't say next week. Don't say it's going to be, I'll do it the week after. I'll do it after this session. Just go out and hit that spot you want to skate. Work up to it. Don't put it off anymore. Go do it and don't let anything stop you. You watching this video right now, I know you have a spot that you've been like, damn, I should go skate that. I've been wanting to skate it for ages. You're going to go do it the next chance you get, okay? No warm up, straight to that spot. And you're going to tag me in the clips on Instagram if you get them. Because today's the day, no more excuses. But anyway, I don't know if this video is getting across to you, but I want to give a massive thank you to my patrons for helping me make these videos. I can't do this kind of videos without fan support, so you want to help me consider doing that. Remember to check out that sweatshirt too that just came out. You can buy it directly in the US, it's stocked there, which is dope. But yeah, go for a street skate today, or a skate at least. Like, I'm not just saying that, you gotta do it. Go out, don't let anything get in the way, obviously within reason. But you know, if you think you don't have time, make time. Go out, have fun, push yourself at the same time as Brian Aragon says. And yeah, I look forward to seeing your clips.